In a startling and unusual moment during a press conference today, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell froze for a perplexing 40 seconds when a reporter inquired about his potential candidacy for the 2026 elections. The prolonged silence has further ignited concerns about McConnell's health, leaving observers to draw parallels with a similar incident just a month ago.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator. Penny.
Yep.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
This incident echoes a disconcerting event from a month prior, when McConnell similarly stood motionless and unresponsive for an extended period when he was giving an update on legislation. President Biden, when asked for his reaction to McConnell's recent moments of silence, expressed his concern for McConnell's health.
I just heard literally coming out, and Mitch is a friend, as you know, not a joke. We always, I know people don't believe that's the case, but we have disagreements politically, but he's a good friend, and so I'm going to try to get in touch with him later this afternoon. I don't know enough to know.
In other news, Tucker Carlson told Adam Carolla that he's afraid Trump may be assassinated by the CIA, similar to JFK. Tucker basically said that if the deep state fails to stop Trump next year, either by imprisoning him or kicking him off the ballot, they might have to kill Trump to stop him permanently.
Are they going to let Trump be president?
No, of course. I mean, look, if, they protested him, they called him names. He won anyway. They impeached him twice on ridiculous pretenses. They fabricated a lot about what happened on January 6th in order to impeach him again. It didn't work. He came back. Then they indicted him. It didn't work. He became more popular. Then they indicted him 3 more times. And every single time his popularity rose. So if you begin with criticism, then you go to protest, then you go to impeachment, now you go to indictment, and none of them work, what's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination, obviously, and no one will say that. But I don't know how you can't reach that conclusion. You know what I mean? Like, they have decided, permanent Washington, both parties have decided that there's something about Trump that's so threatening to them they just can't have him. I mean, they're putting him on trial in March of next year in the J6 case, which basically consists of trying to send him to prison for the rest of his life for complaining about the last election. That's literally what it is. Again, if this were happening in Moldova, the State Department would issue an all-hands-on-deck order to let the world know this is not a legitimate government. And yet our government is doing it. It's like it's hard to overstate how bad this is.
Liberals like Rachel Maddow are speculating that if Trump wins in 2024, he will become president for the rest of his life.
The election means one of two things, if this is the way he's going to approach it. Either he loses the election and he goes to prison, or he wins the election, he doesn't go to prison, and is that for life that he gets to be president? Will we keep having more elections or no? If every election is a new opportunity for him to go to prison, do you think he allows us to have new elections? I mean, if those are the stakes, if winning the election is his plan to stay out of prison, what happens in that election if and when he does not win it? Does that kind of an election end with a graceful concession to a fair and square re-elected President Biden?
Tim Pool makes the funny claim that Rachel Maddow is somewhat right because Trump only has 5 to 10 years left to live. So technically, if Trump did win in 2024, he could be president for the rest of his life.
Rachel Maddow worries Trump will probably be president for life if he wins in 2024. Cue all of the Trump supporters laughing, clapping, and cheering, saying, I want to agree with that. Trump being president for life. First, let's break down what that really means. Donald Trump is, what is he, 78 years old? President for life for Trump. His life expectancy, average life expectancy, he's about there. So for life means maybe one more term. Maybe if he really is president beyond his second term, it'd only be a couple more years. So Rachel Maddow's president for life argument is actually quite hilarious because she's actually correct. Like, let's just be honest.
That does it for today's newscast. Oh, but remember, I'm the fake one. You all are the real ones. My advice today is watch a funny movie and decompress during these scary and uncertain times.